Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's satsang. Today is the 14th of December. It's Monday. I wish that all of our weeks it goes very well ahead. The next week goes very well. Uh, Thank you, Michael, for the good news yesterday about Ishwarji's health. I hope he recovers very quickly and we get amazing 3 days of the holiday event from 18 to 20 December. About today's schedule, today we have a beautiful song by dear Beth, and she's going to sing "The Lord is Rich and Merciful." And then we have a talk by Michael. Then we'll have a beautiful reading by Brother Isaac. I think I should call him Isaac, as we call it in Hebrew. He's going to read from the book Spiritual Gems. Spiritual Gems is a collection of letters written by a great master to his disciples. After that, we'll proceed to the short dhyan session, and then we'll watch Ishwarji's video together, and then we'll all meditate with love and devotion. Thank you very much. I now request Beth to unmute herself.
Okay, I just did.
Your video is off, dear.
Okay, now is it better?
Yes. Now we can see you.
Okay.
Beautiful
Ready?
Christmas tree.
Yeah, I'm sitting by my Christmas tree and wishing you all Merry Christmas. I'm happy to join you at this time of joy when usually we are having Ishwar's Christmas party, and now we can at least anticipate seeing him in the new year. But the most important thing is that he is with us now inside. So I'm just singing a hymn that's one of my favorite hymns that I grew up with, called "The Lord is Rich and Merciful." The Lord is rich and merciful. The Lord is very kind. Oh, come to him, come now to him with a believing mind. His comforts, they shall strengthen thee like flowing waters cool. And he shall for thy spirit be a fountain ever full. The Lord is glorious and strong, our God is very high. Oh, trust in him, trust now in him, and have security. He shall be to thee like the sea, and thou shalt surely feel his wind that bloweth healthily thy sicknesses to heal. The Lord is wonderful and wise, as all the ages tell. Oh, learn of him, learn now of him, then with thee it is well. And with his light thou shalt be blessed, therein to work and live. And he shall be to thee a rest when evening hours arrive.
Thank you, dear Beth. That was amazing. Thank you for bringing the spirit of Christmas to us. With your tree and with your beautiful Christmas shirt.
Thank you.
Shedding the light of Christmas on all of us. Thank you.
Love to all of you. Love to all of you.
Thank you. When I was young, my grandparents are from Bethlehem. So we used to go celebrate Christmas in Bethlehem where Jesus was born. And I used to feel the spirit. But when I came here, I lost that feeling of the spirit because of the commercialness of Christmas. But over there, it was time of family and time of prayer. We used to go to the midnight mass. It was amazing. Yeah.
Can I tell you something quick? Am I still unmuted?
Yes. Tell me.
I was supposed to be born on Christmas Day, so my parents were going to name me Bethlehem.
Oh my God.
But wow. I was born 5 days later, and so they named me Bethlehem instead of Bethlehem.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Well, Bethlehem, my grandparents lived in Bethlehem, and my mom is from
Oh,
Bethlehem.
it's
So I used to go there every Friday. Yeah, it's a
beautiful
beautiful
city.
city, old city.
Special city, yes.
Yes. All right, my dear holy family, welcome to Satsang. Welcome to another holy day in Holy Ishwarji, where we all sit in the presence. This presence has no separation. When we sit in the presence of the Holy One, then there is no separation. And we together, all of us together, we sail. We sail the ocean of love. We sail the ocean of love. They used to say in the olden times that merchants who were scared from the ocean, who were scared from the sea, lost everything. But those who dared to sail the ocean, those merchants who dared to sail the ocean, then they became rich. And we all sit together in the presence of our Holy One, and we sail the ocean of love. But when we sail this time, there is no fear of drowning because we have the master sailor guiding us and taking us and ferrying us to the shore, ferrying us across the shore to the land of love, to the land of joy, and to the land of ecstasy, and to the land, our true home that cannot be described. So we sit together every day here in His presence to feel His love and to get His blessings and to get His grace and to fill our cups. To fill our cups as satsang is the time to fill ourselves with His holy nectar, with His ambrosial, divine manna of life, bread of life, and water of life, the spring, the everlasting spring that all the saints and masters talk about. In this presence, He fills us. He fills us, and we are happy. Then we are happy the whole day that we sat together as a holy family, and gradients and the shower of grace have been showered on us, and it gives us strength to go one more day and then meet again here to fill our cup again tomorrow. And it keeps on going and it keeps on going till the ocean has been crossed and we're on the other side. We're on the other side, the side of love. They say, the saints say that if you want light, if you want to see the light, you have to set fire. You have to set fire. And this is the same thing that if we want to experience the light of God, if we want to experience His love, if we want to become the light of God, then we have to set fire. We have to set fire on our old self. We have to set fire on our old self. And they say, the saints say, if a generous one like Ishwar Puri Ji invites you into his fire, run quickly. Don't even wonder if it's gonna burn or if it's gonna hurt. Just run and dive from head to toe, dive into that fire. That fire, that cleansing fire might bring pain, but the pain shows us how arrogant we are. That pain is necessary because it shows us how arrogant we are. And they say the mother, when she's giving birth, she has pain, but after the pain, there is joy. So we all go through this process that the saints call it the fires of purification, where we have to be cleansed, where we have to become holy, where holiness has to become our life, where we set fire to our old self to allow the new self to come, as every soul has to go through something called the autumn, a necessary autumn inside of us. That autumn or the fall or the shedding of the leaves is very, very, very necessary to allow the new growth, to allow the spring to come. First is the shedding, the autumn of the soul, the shedding, the fall. And then after the leaves fall, then the spring comes. And when the spring of the soul comes, it brings with it the freshness. It brings with it the freshness of the saints. It brings with it the fragrance, the fragrance of the godly flowers. It brings with it the love, it brings with it the joy that we have to be crumbled. We have to become earth. We have to become ground. We have to become earth and crumbled in order to allow the new growth, in order to allow the new wilderness to grow, the wilderness of God to grow. We have we have been rocky stones for ages and ages and ages. And now it's the time to become earth. And it's the time to allow that new growth to come. So in order for that to become, we have to become headless and headless without a head. Headless. And that is the process of surrendering our smallness to the greatness of God, our smallness to the our infinite to the infinity of God, that we have to surrender that. And that is becoming headless. And the headless is the cleansing. To become headless is the cleansing connection to our teacher. So let's hold our hand fast and tight to the hand of the perfect one, because then strength will come. And that strength that is coming is him gathering us closer to himself. That is the strength that will be showered on us. That strength is him, Father God, Master, holding us closer and closer to his heart, to the heart of all hearts. So um, the headlessness comes, it is necessary, as to say I in the wrong time brings a curse. And that is necessary because the Sayyid say, like it's like uh, I forgot what's the male chicken called, a rooster. If a rooster crows in the middle of the night, the owners might cut his head because he brought a curse. He did the sound, the crowing at the wrong time. So, so this headlessness has to come. It is like taking the sting out of the scorpion or the venom out of the snake. And this headlessness is our connection to Master. They say, don't ever share or talk even about something that you have not experienced. So all I can talk about is just this yearning that I have for Master, the love that I have for Master, that I can share with you. Anything else, I don't know. All I know is that I am a soul that is yearning, a soul that is yearning for God, for Master. I can share with you the yearning. That yearning is the connection with the Father. That yearning is like the whining of the dog for his master. The whining of the dog for his master is the connection with the master. And this whining that we have, because we're all dogs of master, this whining that we have is our connection to our Father. And that I can share. I can share the joy of the times I was with him physically. That I can share. And how much love he has bestowed on me, how much love he has showered me. That I can share. I can share. I can share the love that he has given. But anything else, I am nothing. I cannot share. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you that. And now I can read to you a story from the delicious book of Bibi Raj called Memories of Sawan. So we can enter the story like yesterday. We can and slip to the feet of Baba Sawan Singh. Because Ishwar Puri Ji says that this whole path, that you have to imagine yourself here, imagine yourself here, behind the two eyes, and in the middle of the head where your soul is. And from there, we can open the other door by the grace of the Master opens, the secret door opens, and we can slip between every cup, between every sip and every cup, there could be a slip, and we could slip into the holy feet of Baba Sawan Singh while I'm reading the story. Just imagine yourself there in the middle of the head while I'm reading, and you might slip because he will pull you. He has that power. He is Father God. He will pull you to his feet, and then you can experience that love, or that story will become real. You will live that story. So just two short stories, and then my brother Isaac. Oh, where is it? What did I want to read? Oh, cool. Story 2. Master Sawan Singh loved this man very much because he was his true devotee. Therefore, he used to stay in his house when he was on tour that way. Once, Gupta's son was coming to India to see Master from England. He was coming to receive initiation from Hazur on the advice of his father. On the way, his ship sank and he was in sea water. He thought about Hazur and what he was doing as he was coming only for initiation. He was swimming in the water and thinking about Hazur. As soon as he thought about Hazur, he saw a white bearded man in the water holding his arm. Dry and tight, he brought him out of the water and he found himself on the beach in India. Wow. When he reached home, he told his father everything. They went to see Hazur in Sikandarpur, Hazur's hometown. When the boy saw Hazur, he jumped. He told his father that he was the same Baba who saved his life in the ocean. With a smile, Hazur said, "No, it was not me. He was my master, Baba Jamal Singh." But the boy kept on repeating, "No, I know it was you." Satguru Ji never showed his power, and he was always living like an ordinary man. What a beautiful story. Okay, story number 3. I didn't read story number 1 because my story number 1, it was saying that there was a woman that was supposed to be that was sitting in front of Hazur, and Hazur said to Bibi Lajo, "Take that woman away," and she said, "Why? Have grace on her." And then he said, "Well, she's gonna die in 6 days," and then all these karmas. Bibi Lajo said, "Oh, please have mercy on her, have mercy on her soul." So then Hazur had mercy on her soul. It's like the story as if Hazur doesn't have mercy and Bibi Lajo is asking him for mercy. That's why I didn't read it. But anyway, the woman got initiated and she stayed in meditation for like hours and hours and hours. And she could say how the inner master took her and showed her all the light and all the inner mansions. And then Baba Sawan Singh was true that on the seventh day that she died. So he had to bear all her karmas. Anyway, so story number 3. So I guess I did tell you story number 1. Okay, story number 3. Once a man was standing outside the door of Hazur's residence in Dalhousie, a hill station in the lap of the Himalayas. I asked the man why he was standing there, and he asked for Hazur. I asked him from where he came. That's Bibi Lajo asking where he came. He said that he belonged to the city of Kangara, another hill station. He had come from Malaya town, to which he was soon to return. In the meanwhile, Hazur came out of his room and he asked the man what was the matter. He said that he and his friends were fighting in the war and that they found themselves in danger. They placed their guns down and sat in meditation and, and sat behind the bushes that were in the same direction as the enemy. Hazur came to them in their meditation and told them to leave quickly or that they would be killed. He also advised them to pick up their guns and begin fighting in the other direction. They requested that they requested that they wanted to go back home, and Hazur said that their desire would be fulfilled. They went down the hill quickly and began fighting. One of them was shot near the eye, and the other was shot near the thumb, but they were able to escape by going down that part of the hill. Hearing this story, Hazur remained quiet. Then Hazur said, Hazarman Singh, it is all done by my master Jamal Singh. Whatever you demanded, you got it. Shahan Shah, the emperor of emperors, Satguruji was very kind, and he was the protector of his devotee. Okay, one short last story. It's called the story of a yogi, ascetic. In the mountains, a yogi used to do meditation on the name of God. Hazur appeared to him and advised him that he should go to Bias and see him there. The yogi then woke up from his meditation. As he was sitting long in meditation, he could not walk and he was very weak, but he tried his best and slowly he walked to Bias and he eventually reached there with very great difficulty. When he reached Bias Dera ashram, he saw Hazur sitting on the stage doing satsang. He went close to the stage and he bowed, and with folded hands he said, You have brought me here, and now I am here. Show me your right foot, which has a shining jewel in the middle of it. Hazur kept hiding his foot, but when Hazur took him to his room, he showed him his right foot. Hazur initiated him and said, Now Sadguru has shown you the right way of doing meditation, and now you will be able to reach Sachkhand, the true home, very soon. Wow, that this God had mercy on this yogi because this yogi was doing meditation that doesn't take him to the highest, but he had yearning for God, he had yearning for Master, a true yearning. So he saw Master inside, and Master graced him. He initiated him, and he will reach Sachkhand. So that's it. Thank you so much, Master, for allowing me to do this seva, and now I welcome my dear brother Isaac, and I will play his video.
Hello, dear Satsangis. This is Isaac. I will read today from Spiritual Gems. We have reached the letter number 49. So Baba Sawan Singh writes this way. I'm glad that you have located the star. You may now fix your attention in it, and when it is fixed and gets steady, the star will burst and you will cross through it. Pain and pleasure of the devotee are in the hands of the Master. He arranges them as he sees fit. The devotee should take delight in pain, for that is also a gift from him. A real devotee makes no distinction in pain and delight. His business is devotion. Letter number 50. The cluster of stars does not disappear. It is a shaky mind that wavers and loses sight of them. The spirit goes within and returns. The sky and star that you see and the voice that you hear now are on the way to the gate within. Within, you will hear much sweet music, hearing which the spirit will waken up and the mind will sleep. The music that we hear in the world outside dulls the spirit but awakens the patience of the mind. On hearing this inner music, the spirit would not covet the throne of a monarch. Anger, passion, attachment, greed, and pride come under control. But that point is not yet reached. When you see the astral form of the Master, and when his spirit will stay in that form, the states will be reached. That music will spontaneously attract you and pull you up. The stage of the inward journey that you are crossing now takes rather a long time. This is the transitional stage. Spirit is accustomed to stay out and you are forcing it within. The spirit permeates every part of the body. It takes time to collect it. When the stage is crossed, the path beyond is easy. Purified spirit is attracted by the magnetic music within. There is only one way to destroy karma, and that is through the practice of the sound current. When saints initiate a soul, they advise it to avoid evil deeds and do good actions, but without any desire for the reward. This much for the present actions, Kriyaman karma. The store karma, sanchit, is sometimes taken over by the saints. And as to the fate karma, paralabd, that which remains to be undergone and is paid up slowly during the lifetime. The severity of the fate karma is not felt so much by a devoted satsangi. As the spirit gets strong, the willpower increases, and the power to bear the karma is strengthened. By following the advice of the master, the disciple becomes karma free and is fit to reach his abode. When you will have crossed the sky, you will meet the master's astral form. This appears to be coming and going, but in reality it does not. It is the mind that shakes. When this form will stay, fix your attention on his face so much that you forget whether he is you or you are he. When there is that much concentration, he will talk to you, answer all your questions, and shall always be with you and will guide you onward to the next step, showing innumerable scenes of the astral plane on the way. On reaching Sahansdal Kanwal, the southern petal lotus, the five vices of passion, anger, attachment, greed, and pride will disappear forever. In the forms of small boys, they will inform you they are going away now, for the place is too hot for them to stay. These negative powers will no longer be able to give shock to the spirit. After crossing the flames of Sahansdal Kanwal and going through considerable spiritual journey, you will reach the second sky with the stars and moons and suns which lie below Trikuti. Crossing the sky, you will enter a crooked tunnel. Then you enter the Brahm stage, which is so strange and wonderful. Letter 51. Genuine grief over separation from the Lord gives impetus to further progress. St. Paul is perfectly right when he says, I die daily. He who goes within the eye focus daily dies daily, and for him death holds no fear. The sound is in both ears. On the right side, the sound is from the positive power, and on the left side, it is from the negative power, kal. The sound on the left side is never to be attended to. The sound on the right side is to be grasped. Really, this sound is not associated with the ear. It comes from above. Because we have the habit of hearing sounds in the ear, we imagine that this sound is in the ear. While keeping the attention fixed in the middle of the two eyebrows, try to catch the sound current on the right, but do not go to the ear to catch the current. If you go to the ear to catch the current, you have left the eye focus. If you stick to the focus, you will soon find the sound leaving the ear and coming from above. It will have no connection with the ear, neither with the right nor the left. The sound that one hears outside the focus is not a pure sound and therefore has little attractive power. The bell sound is the sound that pulls up. The bell sound will not allow the mind to run away. It will hold the mind, or rather the mind will stick to it like a piece of iron to a magnet. Letter number 52. You know by experience the difference in this concentration and your previous idea of concentration. So long as the attention has not left the external objects and the body below the eyes does not sit calmly in the third eye, or in other words, if it has not made the third eye its home, the concentration is incomplete. In the incomplete state, the attention may catch the current for a short time, but will lose touch with it again. This make and break is the transitional state. In course of time, it will require effort to bring the attention out from the focus to carry on the functions in this world. We are out to conquer the mind that governs the world. Study the intelligent man. Is he at peace? Does he know rest? Nobody is happy. We are fighting a powerful enemy. In America, you do not come across the various ways people have followed to attain spirituality. In Europe and America, in their pursuit of science, the pioneers and their followers have made untold sacrifices. So in India particularly, and elsewhere also, there is any amount of effort in a variety of ways in spiritual science. Compared with this practice, that of the world is easy. If for one reason or another sufficient progress has not been made by the satsangi while alive, then the practices can be done by the astral body. If the physical, astral, and causal planes have been crossed while alive, then on it goes after death. The continuity of progress is not broken. Letter 53. Other minor troubles will disappear. The sound will come. There is a combination of 10 sound here at the eye focus. Out of this, catch the bell sound. Please keep to yourself whatever you may see within. If somebody offers anything within, please do not accept it. The negative powers frequently mislead. Avoid praise and do not be flattered. Humility is the armor of the saints and the devotees. Letter number 54. You say that Mr. Y refuses to accept initiation on account of family opposition. You are perfectly right in not urging her, but let her feel free to do as she likes. It's in fact this is why. Nam is not cheap that it should be broadcast. It is a rare article. Anybody who spends his spiritual powers for fulfillment of wishes connected with this world cannot have access to high spiritual worlds. Mental and spiritual powers should be conserved to secure access to higher planes of spirituality. Worldly desires pull the attention down and bring it outward. If one spends here what he earns, then there is nothing left for the day of reckoning. Anybody who wishes to go high will have to keep his attention detached from the world and its affairs. The names by themselves carry no value. It is their practice in the proper way that brings benefit. Names, if repeated at the center of attention, will bring the attention in concentration, no more, no less. That is the limit of the course of Simran. To go up, the sound current is necessary. Without sound current, there is no way to Sachkhand. Merely to know the names and to take them as the secret of Sant Mat is ignorance. Sound current is Sant Mat, and the sound current that pulls one up is met at Sahansdal Kanwal. And to reach that far, you know from experience what effort is needed. So long as one has not freed his attention from matter, his body, and come inside the eye focus, no made contact with the astral form of the master, and thereby cast off his I-ness, one is not accepted by the sound current. So long as one is encased in the body, the attention working in the 9 portals of the body, he is worldly and of this world. And so long as one is encased in I-ness, he is not of the master. The I-ness is the curtain between him and the master's astral form. When he has realized the master within, or in other words, the master within has accepted him, he is fit to catch the current uninterruptedly. Then the attention remains absorbed in it. An about turn has taken place. The attention that was finding it so difficult to get in now does not like to come out. Let people say what they like. To talk of philosophy is one thing. Anybody can talk about it. But to be a philosopher is another. There is a proverb here which may be expressed as, if a dog walks through a cotton field, it does not come out dressed in a suit. There is nothing in Sant Mat which needs to be concealed. Everyone is carrying it within himself already and can have it by searching within himself. The only difficulty is that it is not easy to go inside, and if one goes in, he does not talk about it lightly. Mr. Y writes that he has found out that it is not necessary for any one of us to go to India just for the initiation, but that we can receive equal benefit or substantially equal benefit by remaining here at home. As far as the master is concerned, time and space make no difference to him, for the master is not confined to the physical form. The master takes on this form for man's guidance, to talk to him, to sympathize with him, to make friends with him, to develop confidence and faith in him, to induce him to seek peace and happiness within himself, to show him the way to it, to teach him by becoming an example, to develop in him godlike attributes, and to pull him out of his physical form to his astral form. And so long as the disciple has not contacted the astral form of the master, in other words, has not become independent of his own physical form, he is a limited being. Thus, he is subject to influences of his environments and the ups and downs of life, which confound his intellect, put him in doubt, and often throw him off the right track. To remove his doubts and seek support for keeping on the track, the disciple will have to approach the master. And if he is far off, he will stand in need of some sort of means of keeping in touch with the master, an intermediary to carry verbal messages, post, telegraph, telephone, or even wireless. The case will be something like a patient receiving treatment from a physician at a distant place instead of receiving treatment by entering the physician's hospital. Or like a student receiving tuition through correspondence instead of studying in a school, sitting at the feet of his teacher. However, there is something in the personal contact with the physician and the teacher which does not come in the prescription or in the lesson received through correspondence. The same holds good with the master. There is thus a lot of difference in being near the master and in being at a distance from him. The view that one must see something at the time of initiation or he would never be able to see anything later is wrong. Experience also does not support it. Everyone is running his own course of life, which is different from all others. No two persons are alike in habit, form, and thought. All are different stages of the development. At initiation, they cannot be expected to behave alike. Only a few see anything then. The majority take time, some weeks, some months, and some years. All are not equally keen. A lamp which contains all the parts and is charged with oil and wick and is adjusted properly needs only a touch of flame to kindle it. A lamp containing all its parts along with oil and wick but not in adjustment needs some effort to kindle it. But a lamp that is leaking, has run short of oil, or in which the wick or some essential part is missing, needs some time to put in order before it will be fit to kindle into flame. I'm happy with the efforts you are putting in your bhajan. Bhajan is our first duty. All other pursuits of life should be taken as means to attain this end. I also wish that you should rise up internally and make contact with the master within you. Please put in a little more effort and make the whole body senseless. So the attention goes right out of it and remains centered in the focus. So this is it for today. We will continue it the next time. Thank you for your attention, and thank you, beloved Master, for the seva. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you so much, Isaac. We enjoyed everything you read. Everything was so delicious and so rich from the mouth of Baba Sawan Singh. And Isaac, he is my brother from the same. We are from the same father, Sant Takar Singh. We come from the tree of Sant Takar Singh, so he's very special. Um, uh, Baba Sawan Singh wants us to become like 5-year-old children, and soon we will become like 5-year-old children. And you know how children walk, they skip. We will start skipping in God. That's how we will walk outside. We will start to skip because we will become like 5-year-olds. Okay, so before we do the 5-minute meditation, I'm gonna read to you a wonderful poem from my Holy Father, Sant Takar Singh. So, are you ready? Okay. It says, repose in Father God lovely. Repose in Father God lovely. All is passing phase here. He is for us eternal only. We have suffered long, long. Now can enjoy in Him surely. Ocean of riches lying in us. Why to struggle poorly? Oh dear, turn to great Father, waiting for us eagerly. All right, that's delicious poem from my father. And now we're gonna do 5 minutes meditation to prepare ourselves to the Emperor of all emperors, Lord of the universe, Ishwar Puriji. So 5 minutes meditation.
did it happen? It can never happen here because there's no time here. So it has to happen somewhere where time can be frozen and things can happen. That is why what we are looking at this world, it's a big illusion that we think there is real time flowing here. It's not real. It's been created by our experience of consciousness. The way we experience things has created a sense of time. But there are places, there are experiences built into us where time can be frozen and you can put in a bunch of 1 million events in no time and then play them out through illusion of time. This is exactly what we have done. Our destiny was never made here because there is no time here to make in the now. Our destiny was made where the time could be frozen, time could be seen all at once. That's a wonderful place where that happened. And that place where it happened has to be something inside us. It cannot be manufactured outside and then experienced inside. It has to be manufactured somewhere inside us. Now, there is an experience which we define generally as meditation. What is meditation? Meditation means to meditate upon something, to think about something, to keep on ruminating about something, keep on repeating something in your head is meditation. We are all great meditators. We are meditating upon our children, meditating upon our properties, meditating upon our money, meditating upon all things outside of ourselves. We don't meditate upon our own self. We meditate upon things and people who are outside of our own self. Therefore, as meditators, we have got involved in continuously thinking about outside things. And we have trained our mind to only think about outside things. Now, supposing you want to meditate not outside, but inside your own self. That means supposing you don't think this body is your real self. It's not real self because it'll die. Where is your immortal self? It must be sitting somewhere in the body. Let us locate where our real self is sitting inside the body. When we say we are alive, we open our eyes and we can see the world. We open our ears, we can hear the world. We open our tongue, we can speak to the world. We have our sense touch and we can touch this world. When we are doing this thing, we can smell the flowers outside through our nose. These sense perceptions that we are having are creating our experience of this world. These 5 senses are creating an experience of this world. They have been clubbed together under the word in English perception, that we are perceiving these things through our sense perceptions and they are operating within this body, but they are not operating outside. The eyes that see are inside the body, not outside. All these organs that are having sense perceptions are inside the body. So, where do we actually perceive, where do we have the perception, does not take long. You can just think of yourself as a life item of life, consciousness, that you are aware of something, you are conscious, and then close your eyes and find out, where am I sitting? Who am I? Fundamental question that all these saints and philosophers have come up with is, who am I really? Am I a body? Am I something else? And where am I? Obviously, since all our perceptions are taking place from inside this body, therefore we are somewhere inside. Then we can examine, are we in our hands? Are we in our legs and feet? Or are we operating from somewhere else? It does not take very long to find out we are operating from somewhere in our head. And from the eyes are placed in the head, the ears are placed in the head, the mouth is in this very small area. Rest of the body, the torso and the limbs are only attached to it. So it does not take very long to know that our whole area of discovering who we really are, if we are not the body, is in a small area, right around our eyes and behind. This can be further narrowed down by meditating upon the question, who am I? What is my reality? If I am thinking inside, where am I thinking from? If I am examining something inside without speaking, without using the body, where am I doing it from? If I'm getting a feeling about something, where am I getting it from? And by putting yourself with closed eyes inside your body, you can put yourself anywhere you like. We have got three very important gifts given to us as human beings. Very, very important gifts. First gift is, of course, life, that we are alive and we can see things, we can experience things, we are alive in this world. Big gift. To be a human being who can think is a big gift. Second gift is that we can have an awareness which we can examine through attention. Supposing I want to look at these flowers sitting next to me, I can turn and put my attention on the flowers. Supposing I put a lot of attention on the flowers, I will forget who's sitting there, I'll just be thinking of the flowers. This ability to have attention in our consciousness and the power to concentrate it anywhere we like, best gift given to human beings. There's nothing greater than that. It's the most valuable gift given to human beings, to have the power of attention which can be concentrated wherever you like. How does it work? It works that if you put your attention on something and concentrate your attention on that, you become unaware of other things. The important thing is not what you're becoming aware of. Important thing is that you can become unaware of other things. That's a great gift. If you're sitting with your eyes blindly looking everywhere, just mind going all over the world, you're not concentrating. But if you concentrate your attention, you can make things disappear from your awareness. Big gift. How does it help? It helps that if you concentrate your attention on your own self, where am I sitting inside the body? If you put your attention on your own self inside the body, you can become unaware of the body. You can also become unaware of the world. This is the power of concentration of attention. So meditation is to meditate generally upon something, but when you can concentrate your attention on something, you can have an experience which is not diffused in the whole world. It can be very specific. It can be so specific that you can even discover who you are inside the body and become unaware of the body itself with this power. So real meditation, which is recommended by all these saints and mystics, that you can concentrate your attention within yourself, you can discover who you are. So long as we keep on using our sense perceptions to look outside, we are diffused, scattered. Our attention is scattered, our awareness is scattered, and we think of multitude of things all over. When we want to put our attention on our own inner self, real self, then we can do that because of this great gift we have been given. So the gift of attention and concentration of attention is the secret to discovering who we are if we are not the body. That's a big thing, to discover that you are something else. The body is merely a cover. By putting attention inside, we can concentrate to a point where we become unaware of the body. Where should we place our attention? This is examined by so many people. Where should we put attention? Many people are putting their attention on their heart because they feel that the heart is where the blood is being pumped, and we are living because of our heartbeat, because we are living in the circulation of our blood in the body. They will put their attention on the heart. They noticed that when they put their attention on the heart, they were thinking in the head and putting attention at the heart. They are not putting attention on themselves. They are putting attention on something other than themselves, the heart. Many yogis, many people who searched their truth, began to examine what else is there in the body where we can put attention. They found out that our whole life is being led by several energy centers in us, which they called the several chakras, centers of energy. They said there are 6 basic chakras they discovered, and the main torso of the body, starting from the bottom, at the rectum, in the genitals, in the digestive system at the navel, in the heart, in the throat, and in the eyes. They found out that these are centers. If you concentrate your attention on any one of them, you can get a different experience based upon where that attention is being located. And each one of these centers is functioning separately to keep us alive, to make us have the knowledge of the whole world. The body is going on by itself. We never tell the heart to beat. We don't tell the lungs to breathe. It's automatic. How it is being done? We walk. There are muscles of the body. 257 muscles have to work together for a child to walk. If you calculate the average time to be given to a child to learn 257 muscles, it can take 10, 12 years. Child walks after 1 year. These are all coordinated by the energy centers inside. These energy centers are responsible for all our life. The energy centers give us all the experiences of this whole world. Therefore, because they were so easily identified, many yogis, yogeshwars, people who wanted to find the truth about themselves, they concentrated their attention on these 6 centers. This was, in a way, a good experience because they could find that putting attention on any one of these centers inside can make you forget your body and just concentrate on that center, and a new kind of experience opens up. It is very interesting to do it. I don't know how many of you have tried it. When I was very young, I tried all these different methods because I thought this is a good way to understand yourself. But then it came to me that why am I thinking from the head and putting attention on something that is below me? This didn't make sense. If I am discovering who I am, who the self is, why should I not discover where it is lying, from where we are putting attention down in the first place? Therefore, there were great mystics who came, who said that there is a division in this body. This physical body of ours has 2 parts, completely divided. And division is at the level of the eyes. Below the eyes, all the centers govern our energy, our force of life. Above the eyes governs our awareness, our knowledge. Knowledge cannot come from below. Energy can come. Energetic experience can come, but not knowledge. So many of these people who were trying to find their true self by lowering their attention from below the eyes, they were getting experiences, but not knowledge. None of them became knowledgeable about the self. But they had great experiences, including out-of-body experiences, including finding out that by putting your attention inside, you can separate yourself and see the body as something separate. You could have many experiences by putting attention on these 6 centers of energy below. But there were several centers which were opening up more and more awareness. They were all lying above the eyes, not below. Big difference was between energy and awareness. A force that kept our body living and gave us experiences was one thing. But to know who we are, how we are participating in this activity, what is our true nature, what is our true self, where is the Atma, where is the immortal soul, could not be found through any of these centers. That could only be found by expanding your awareness behind the eyes and above the eyes. This led to the discovery of a meeting point between the centers of energy and the centers of awareness. The meeting points were these physical eyes, 2 eyes. In describing the centers of energy, they used the nomenclature from the lotus flower. And since the lotus flowers can have several petals, it can have 2-petal lotus or a 4-petal lotus, they started by looking at the eyes and saying, these are a 2-petal lotus of awareness, that we are having our knowledge of this world through a 2-petal lotus, the 2 petals being the 2 eyes. And we have a spine going behind the body, which is carrying the whole information from the brain down to the body and spreading it out. So this body is constructed almost like a house, 6-story house. 6 stories of house, each center of energy is 1 level, 1 story. So different levels of the house you are building, and you have an elevator at the back. Very good construction. The body is constructed like a house, and we are living in it. So this house, which has 6 levels, and all of them are below the eyes, we spend our time into these 6 centers, enjoying various kinds of energy, enjoying various kinds of experiences that come from these energy centers. But we don't go too much into the interior part of our upper part of the head. What I am sharing with you here today, and I've always shared whenever I've given a chance to talk, is not my invention of something, it's a common thing everybody has. These great mystics came, saints came, they all had the same thing we all have. They don't separate. It's the same thing. I am only conveying to you teachings that I got from Hazur Maharaj Baba Sawan Singh, whose picture you see here. We call him Great Master. We call him Great Master because he was really great. And he was able to initiate me when I was very young. And I did not fully agree with what he was saying. I said that this can be a big hoax done by these gurus and these saintly people to trap us all into their own ashrams and deras and so on, and it is not real. I was a great skeptic. I doubted everything. So therefore, when I got into this, I did not fully agree. Even after getting initiated by him, even after getting Namdan from him, I did not accept it fully. Because I said that I am doing it because my father followed him. I never got a chance to examine anything. Therefore, I tried these other things on my own. I said I should examine everything myself. So that is why today I can compare these notes because I tried these myself. And I found out that what he was telling, most of the people don't know about. He was telling something new. I'll tell you a true story that my uncle, it's a personal story, but I'm sharing with you. You are like family. At my age, you are all like my children. I'll be 90 in November. So you can see that I can talk to you like an elderly person, like a grandfather. My uncle was posted in a town called Karachi, which is now in Pakistan, had a beautiful house by the sea and on a Clifton beach, very beautiful place. He was also a follower of this great Satguru Baba Sawan Singh, and he invited Babaji to come and stay with him for a little while. So I remember our families and all went together to go and visit Karachi. We went by train together. Now my father and my auntie, who's his wife, my uncle and his auntie were followers of this same master, but they used to go to one Swami in Karachi, whose name was Swami Brahmanand. He was a yoga teacher and was also an expert in Ayurvedic medicine. He used to give Ayurvedic medicine. So my uncle and auntie were going for Ayurvedic medicine, not so much to learn the yoga because they were following this master. So when it was found out that this master of mine is going to Karachi, they went to their Swamiji and said, Swamiji, our Guru is coming from Punjab and we would like him to come and meet you. And Swamiji said, just bring him to me, I will bless him. They didn't want the Swami to bless the Guru, but somehow that is what the Swami said. So they were a little bit of a puzzle, who is going to bless who? So they arranged for a lunch one day, and of course, Great Master was living in their house and Swamiji was in an ashram. They decided to have a lunch and they put on a sofa set with 2 seats. They called it love seat or something. They said, we will put both the master and the Swami together. We'll see what happens. And I was also one of the spectators to see what will happen. So when Swamiji came, he was a very beautiful man, sharp eyes. He used to wear a saffron-colored, orange-colored turban, orange dress, and was having a muffler type of thing around his neck, which he used to hold with his hands. And he walked like this with great style. He was a man of style. So the Swamiji came and at lunch, and he sat down. Then they called Great Master. He came from his bedroom, and they introduced him. The Master sat with him. And they said, Master, this is our Swamiji from whom we get our Ayurvedic medicines. So Great Master folded his hand like this, and Swamiji raised his hand and said, I bless you. We saw this. We said, what is happening here? This Swamiji has blessed our Guru now. After some time, the great master said, Swamiji, isn't it a great pity that so many yogis, so many swamis, so many holy people are all trapped in the 6 centers below the eyes and nobody knows about the 12 centers above? Swamiji said, Master, what are these 12 centers? I've never heard about them. I've heard of these 6 centers and I've heard of the 7th sometimes, they say. But I never heard these 12 higher centers. Great Master said, have you not heard? There are 18 centers, 6 centers of energy and 12 centers of awareness. He said, Master, I never heard this thing. Can you please explain to me in detail what these 18 centers are? So Great Master said, well, you know, it's a very long subject to explain all the 18 centers. But if you can care to come to my dera in Punjab, then I can explain to you. The conversation ended there. Then program was going on, Great Master went, saw some places. Next day Swamiji came, he said, I could not sleep all night. All night I'm wondering where those 12 centers are. I've never heard those higher centers. So he wound up his ashram. He wound up his ashram and came to the dera near the river Byas in India, where Great Master was living. And he said, I must learn about these 18 centers. I never heard 18 chakras, only 6 I know. So once he was there, Great Master ordered that Swamiji should be given the highest respect and he should be given the best accommodation in the guest house, in the dera. And he should be treated with utmost courtesy. He should sit with me when I give satsang, when I give a discourse. Swamiji should sit next to me. And if he wants to see me, he can see me 24/7, day or night. These orders were given. Swamiji was treated with a VVIP treatment. He was very happy. And he walked even more proudly. So Swamiji was being treated so nicely. And in the satsang, when the discourse took place, Swamiji sat next to Great Master. And Great Master would say, all the yogis and yogeshwars are all trapped in this 6 centers. They don't know anything about the real thing. The real stuff is all above that. And Swamiji would look like this. After some days, Swamiji said, Master, I have a little problem. And Great Master says, yes, Swamiji, what is your problem? He said, when I sit and you talk, I have to turn my head and look at you. I've got a pain in my neck. Great Master said, I also noticed that. So you should sit in front. So from the pedestal, he was put down on the ground, given a special chair. After some days, Swamiji said that I have a little problem. Great Master said, what is the problem now? He said, now the problem is that you are sitting on the high stage there. I sit in front and I have to look up like this, so I got a pain in the neck again. Oh, Great Master said, I also noticed that. Move Swamiji's chair about 20, 30 feet behind. So it was placed in the middle of the Sangat there. Then again, after a few days, Swamiji said, Master, I have a problem. I said, now Swamiji, what is your problem? He said, the problem is that I sit on a chair. People behind me are sitting on the floor. They can't have your darshan. I feel very guilty. Instead of listening to you, I'm worried about them. So he can't pay attention. Great Master said, I also noticed that. Remove his chair. Ultimately, they put him down exactly along with the common people anywhere. During that time, he also one day tested whether it is true that he can see the Great Master anytime he likes. So, in the middle of the night, 12 o'clock, he went and knocked on the door. I want to see Great Master. And all the Sevadars had been given instruction. When Swamiji comes, he should be given full access. They went and woke up Great Master. Swamiji has come. Bring him here. Yes, Swamiji, what can I do for you? He said, no, just came for your darshan. He said, okay. So he tested that he was really being given the VVIP treatment. So Great Master, because he was a practitioner of Ayurveda, they gave him a small place where he placed his Ayurvedic medicines, began to practice in the dera. In those days, I was also doing little homeopathic treatments, so they had given me also a little small place. So we were next to each other, and we would compare notes. After a few months' stay, I was sitting with this Swamiji and I said, Swamiji, aren't you happy here? He said, I had so much ego in me when I came that if the master had not given me VVIP treatment, I would have gone back. He is a great diplomat. This master of yours is a big diplomat. That he diplomatically first put me high up, then he brought me down to my own real level, and now he has trapped me with his love, and I can't go anywhere. So that is why he learned this, but he learned about these centers of awareness, that this is our pind, our body, physical body. These 6 centers control our physical activity. They don't control any other activity. The physical body is controlled by physical. Even what is our mind and our senses are being now confined to what is in the physical body. So we call this a pind. Pind means physical body. There's a pindi mind, pindi senses, and pindi body. Everything is physical here. When you are sitting in this 6 chakras and enjoying these energy centers, you are totally physical. But if you are not living in these 6 centers, but are living higher up somewhere, you can be in And, Brahmand, and Sachkhand. Those are the higher centers. So those centers are all confined, but they are available like the same centers, like you have 6 centers below, you have 12 centers above. They represent the astral, which is And, or the causal, which is Brahmand, and Sachkhand, which is our true home. Those centers are above us, and they are all confined to the little space above. And this Swamiji learned that from that moment onwards, that the true search for the self, for the Atma, cannot take place while we are still in the physical body and looking at the physical centers. So I'm just sharing this with you, how he came to realize that our truth cannot be found just by focusing on the 6 centers. And why that is important is because so many of us don't distinguish between energy center and center of awareness. And I did not distinguish for many years. And that is why I'm sharing this experience with you, that if you want to find your true self, the immortal self, not mind, not senses, how you're sensing things, not perception, your true self, the very seat of consciousness from where you have come, which is permanent, which is our true home, it will be found in a small space in the body above the eyes. The starting point, which they said 2-petaled lotus, is the same 2-petaled lotus. These physical eyes, they look outward. They can't look inward. When we say, let us look what is inside us, you can't use these eyes to look inside. They are meant for looking outside. But we have eyes that look inside. We all have. And we are all using them. When you imagine something, supposing you close your eyes and imagine something.
Okay, my dear love souls, my dear holy family, it's time to look inside and forget the world outside and the body below and come up here at the third eye center where Father God and Master are waiting and repeat the Simran of the holy name slowly with the tongue of thought at intervals and try to hear what your mind is repeating or listen to the holy Shabd. And I wish you the best meditation. I hope to see you tomorrow for another holy day in Holy Father God. And I'll keep Zoom on for 20 minutes so we can meditate together.